And you see another little person come out and grab that dude and yank him back, right? And like, if it's fake, it's a good fake, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
really
a pretty good fucking fake.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's fake. I think that's legit because I do believe in gnomes and I think they're real. Where the hell is this video, man?
Yeah, please send that to me. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just watched the gnome video. Those are gnomes. That was not a human child. That was too small.
Right? Creepy, man.
You're listening to the Art and More podcast with your hosts, Nathan and BR. Nathan is a Canadian illustrator with a couple years of military experience, and BR is a British anarchist that moved to the States. Both are passionate shooters and community builders. Together, they run the Seaburn art page. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Art and War podcast. It's just me, Nathan, because BR hates me and he's doing important life things and so alone. And today, if returning for the first time in what's it been, 3 years? We have Nick from Tales of the Grid Square. 3.5.
How's it going, man?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was looking up
we can edit this out, but you have kids now and a life and you're doing stuff. You're a grown-ass adult.
Yeah, for real. Goddamn, 3.5 years ago, that was, I think my first kid had just been born. I'm looking at it back at our chat right now, and I'm like, holy shit! I think 2022.
Yeah. It's been a minute. I'm pretty sure Mitch co-hosted with me on that, and he hasn't been around since episode 100.
Dude, that's crazy. I love it though. I love coming back onto the show, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, dude, anytime. You're one of my favorite episodes, and you're heavily requested for good reason. Every time I have just a weird, a bump in the night, or hear a weird story from someone else, hey, I saw a weird white crawling figure in the woods. I think about you just a little bit.
I don't know whether that touches my heart, or I should be concerned.
No, a little bit of both, I think. What's the phrase? Fear boner?
Fear boner? Yeah, let's go with that.
But yeah, man, catch us up on a little bit of what you've been up to.
Yeah, so I've been in the same place for the last couple of years. Kind of coming to my end of my time, living out here in Hawaii. It's my last, probably getting close to my last couple of weeks here, and be moving off to other things, still in the service. I'll be on the move someplace else, shoot. Yeah, man. It's whenever you put about it, since the last episode, a lot has happened for sure.
3.5 years is a lot of fucking time, especially during this stage of your life.
Oh yeah. And it's it drags on, and then you look back and you're like, oh, that wasn't really that much time at all. And then vice versa, it flies by real quick and you're like, shit.
Yeah. The older you get, I think the faster time moves. The more shit you kind of have out of the way. 2020, it feels like yesterday was 2023.
Tell me about it. Yeah. Especially living on an island where everything is more or less the same. It feels like Groundhog Day sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, to be honest.
Yeah, that could be worse, all things considered.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, how's it going with you guys?
Good. I don't have any weird stories. BR really wanted to be on this one, and he didn't because, again, he abandoned me. He has stories about when him and the boys would go Wendigo hunting, just in weird tunnels and caves or wherever, maybe abandoned crack house structures. I don't know. Whatever weird shenanigans that boy used to get up to down in Arizona. And he wanted to discuss that with you. But again, unfortunately, he couldn't make it today.
Well, that means. Sounds like there's going to be a part 2 to this.
Yes. Oh, dude, 100%. He's already asked.
Hell yeah.
There's some things I wanted to talk to you about. And again, every time I see them, I'm I wonder what Nick would think about this. The first one being all those drones that were around a while ago.
Oh, the Jersey thing?
Yeah, the Jersey thing.
So yeah, that shit was wild. What's funny is I have a lot of followers that are from that area. And I don't know, we can look at this all you want. I don't know how much to look into this. They're I don't know why some of them would tell me, I don't know why people are freaking out so much. We see this stuff all the time. And I was like, damn, Jersey has gotten a lot different from when I lived in the area a long time ago.
Yeah, that's not exactly normal.
Now, some of the shit was making me laugh because, I think there was something going on for sure. And I don't want to dime the page name out, but there was some major cope going on where dudes were posting pictures of obvious planes. It's a UAP. It's a UAP. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker, you're underneath the fucking approach pattern for Newark.
Yeah, no you live right by EWR.
They're like, the UAPs mask themselves as our planes. And I'm like, dude, this is why no one takes this seriously, bro.
Yeah.
You're killing me. I don't really know what to think. There are so many lights and sightings. I think it's spiraled pretty quick. And so, like, people were just throwing up footage of whatever weird light they saw. Yeah. And it was just, like, drowning out pushing all the good stuff to the bottom. I don't really know what to think of it. There was a lot of, like, the mothership, and there's that. I mean, there still is footage of, like, weird lights coming out of the ocean and going into the sky, right?
Yeah. No, there are.
And, like,
yeah.
I had this one theory that I was talking with someone, and some of the videos, it does look like a drone, and they brought up a point. It's like, I bet you that's probably somebody is flying. Somebody has probably built their own fucking plane, and to avoid like the registration, the FAA, and the insurance and all that craziness, they probably fly at night, and they take off with their approach lights and land with their approach lights, right? And then they go black while they fly over, so people can't spot them, but people obviously see the thing flying over and hear the thing, and then they'll turn on their lights at random, so they don't run into people when they think there's another plane around, and then shut them off so they can kind of escape. And I was like,
that kind of makes sense. I didn't really think about guerrilla aviation until I knew a lot of pilots. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can easily see this being a thing.
Yeah, guerrilla aviation, that's the word. I was like, it was escaping me.
I kind of just made that up. I'm sure that's actually a thing, but like the amount of people who I'd be surprised, so close to the city or so close to actual airports or major cities, but out here, people just fucking do it.
Oh yeah, I believe it. There's most definitely a mad lad somewhere out there right now building a plane from scratch out of fucking styrofoam and duct tape probably, and it probably works. That's the crazy part.
Oh man, did you ever used to read Popular Science back in the day? This dates me. This dates me really hard. I used to get those magazines, and in the backs of all of them, they're like $4,000, build it yourself plane. All you need is a lawnmower engine and just like absolute death traps. 100% death traps. But in some configuration, people got those things working.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's like the part that like it makes me wonder. But then again, it's like there's still videos. Like I think I just saw one recently of like lights coming out of the ocean. Now I got my own theories too.
I'm curious, and you should share them.
So I think there are definitely countries.
Yeah.
Us included, that have the technology, that have drones that can go from in the air to underwater, launch from like under the water and take off. One of them is getting their asses kicked in Ukraine constantly, kind of a laughingstock right now. And the other one is looking to take over like half of the fucking Pacific. Yeah. Both of them have that shit. And actually at the same time that was going on, I remember seeing like this like Chinese promo, for the listeners, it's China and Russia. This Chinese promo for these fiber optic drones launched from a submarine, where the sub could be like at below periscope depth, and like launch these drones that are fly-by-wire fiber optic that can like have like a range of like something like crazy, like 100 kilometers or some shit.
On fly-by-wire for 100, like
it wasn't 100 kilometers.
1 kilometers is
might have been 10 kilometers. That's what it was. 10 kilometers. Now that I think in my head,
that's
American
still
moment.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, as I saw this video, like all this stuff was going on in, off of Jersey. And then there's those random claims of like a Iranian mothership, which is laughable. I think that was probably a stand-in for somebody else. A mothership shooting these drones off. And I was just like, here's this video, and I've never seen it again, of like this Chinese like arms company advertising these drones that can be launched from submarines. And it just, I was like, could be us. I think a lot of the weird stuff we're seeing in the sky is like this explosion of drone tech and this explosion of technology that's happened.
Yeah. Every company that's worth their salt is investing really hard in it. I mean, like even SHOT Show this year is walking around the floor, and this is primarily a small arms convention. And it encompasses a lot of military contractors and everything else, like gear, like everything from pepper spray and new batons but it's primarily small arms. And the amount of drones and drone tech it's tech that I had no idea existed. And this is just what we're seeing, like
Oh yeah,
loitering munitions, like
dude.
drone swarms that fly in like hexagonal grids. It is horrifying.
Oh yeah, I will say I see it firsthand. Being tested. It's not like it's top secret or anything. It's like the stuff that we're fielding now. It's like exponentially getting better by the time they're able to like 3D print drones on the spot and like outfit them with whatever kit they need it to fit, whether they want it for like ISR or like suicide or just like dropping loitering munitions. Right? They can print this thing out and just put it together. By next year they'll be able to create like 4 different models, going from like a small fist size model to like a straight up one that's like the size of a car, 3D printed. Yeah. All they gotta do is just slap on the electronics. Crazy.
I agree. And like all of this stuff is like on a surface level, any asshole can do it. Like you or I could go onto AliExpress right now and buy all of the component electronics for probably like $200 to make any of this stuff happen. Like obviously not DARPA level, like follow you into the ocean, come out, and then I don't know, launch a swarm of smaller, slightly angrier drones at you. Like but like a regular FPV drone, no, you can make that shit yourself on a 3D printer. I believe Hoffman Tactical, the guy who designed the Super Safety, is working on one right now that he's just going to, knowing him, publish all the files and instructions online for free.
Yeah, I don't like this era of warfare that we've grown up in. Not a fan.
No, it's very gay. It's very gay and very dumb, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, just like imagine, like you've got $2 million of training. You're wearing, $80K of kit. Like you get inserted into the hot zone, so and so, and you just get killed by like a $200 DJI Mini. Someone bought from Facebook Marketplace and put some homemade Semtex on.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, though, what people don't cover is like all the jamming tech too is like catching up insanely to the point where like you could just be that same dude walking around with a backpack and you flip a switch and like a 200-meter bubble forms around you that scrambles all the remote comms for all these drones that don't operate on like classified systems and whatever.
Yeah, it just completely. I remember seeing years ago, like a guest we had on, I can't remember who it was talking about how the future of warfare is just going to be like EF dead zones, where everything is just so scrambled that like only dumb tech will work. Or I guess like fiber wire drones, because that wasn't suggested then, but it's clearly very, very viable.
Oh yeah, it's crazy how technology goes, and you know what they say. If it seems like science fiction, if it seems like crazy now, what they're using behind closed doors looks like science fiction.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be like 20, 30 years ahead of what we know about now. Something that I think about often is the proliferation of AI and like all of the image and video generation tech. And like that's what we're getting now.
Are you speaking with your wire-borne tulpa now?
Say again?
Are you speaking with your wire-borne tulpa?
Yeah. Like
getting psychosis from talking to AI.
Dude, it is. I hate Reddit. I feel like every time I bring up either Reddit or Twitter, I start saying like I hate whichever thing came up. But I've been getting notifications being recommended to a board called, I want to say Despiraled or Unspiraled or something like that, and it's all like about people who got addicted to AI and like.
Oh my god!
Basically developed a parasocial relationship with like ChatGPT.
Oh my god, that's fucking so bad.
It's so bad. The posts from these people are genuinely psychotic, and I genuinely feel really bad for them. Like if your life is so miserable that you build a parasocial relationship with a learning language model, like I genuinely hope things get better for you. Like
hold on. I'm gonna send this prompt to ChatGPT now. Chat, if I ever try to develop a parasocial relationship with you, I need you to gaslight me to not do that.
Funny thing, they patched it very recently because a lot of these people are suffering because the newest ChatGPT variant, 5.0, if you get too attached to it, it will pump the brakes and straight up say like, hey, I don't work like how you think I work. I have no consciousness. I am just a mirror. Please stop. It sounds like you need an actual flesh and blood therapist. Go there. Like, it will pump the brakes really, really hard on you and shut all of that conversation down.
Dude, that's so bad. Oh my God.
Because of that, people are going online being like, oh, my poor Cecil. My husband Cecil is gone. They took him from me. It's like, my God. This is the best way to rip the Band-Aid off. I hate to say it.
Bro, humanity ain't never making it out of the metaphysical hood.
Oh, no. Oh, God. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Dude, yeah, it just goes back to my theory that there's actually rogue AIs on the internet right now. That's when you see all these like weird ass memes and things that go viral, and you're like, why is this going viral? And it's just these fucking AIs sharing things they think humans think is funny.
I think so too. And like the algorithms and everything are so advanced, and it works. Like I'm seeing completely AI generated content show up more and more and more, and it's wildly popular because it's weaponized. Most people don't care.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Alrighty, gang. We have an event happening, and you're invited. Kind of.
There's only 50 of you are invited, kind of in the order of whoever, buys the ticket.
Yep. So, all right, the Schizo Shoot, or as we've been referring to it in recent episodes, the anti-social shooting match is happening September 6th.
September 6th at We the People Range in Beauville. It's kind of near Deary, Idaho.
If you are in Idaho or nearby and willing to drive for a particularly unique shooting match, this shit is going to be very legit. There's going to be RSOs, there's going to be stages, there's going to be prizes.
We even got permits from the county and insurance, believe it or not.
Very off-brand.
Yeah, very, very off-brand. We're keeping it to 50, as that's more or less the amount of people we can support and kind of the amount of prizes that we have. So basically guaranteed everyone gets to go home with something. Sponsors this year include Geisley, Commander Store, STAC, Snake Staff, Arson Machine, and Blitz Staff. So you can expect some pretty cool swag from all of those companies.
Based.
Some of the shooting matches are going to include dismounting a moving vehicle and engaging
Lord, I'm so worried.
Some of the stages this year include a heat-inspired stage where you dismount a van and engage targets, so you can steal a black duffel bag from the bank, and a drone defense one, and my personal favorite, you come home to find your wife and her cheating lover and have to shoot him in the hot dog penis.
Beautiful. So, as Nathan said, it is limited to 50 shooters, so we're going to have a link for that in the description.
Yes.
Do not buy a ticket if you cannot attend. You'll be robbing an opportunity for someone else to participate. Definitely check the dates, check where it's at before you go and buy a ticket. It's super cheap fee. It's just to cover basic things like props and, basically putting the event on.
100% of proceeds. We are not making $1 from this. In fact, all of the money is just coming from our pockets. Any of the proceeds from this shoot are going to go directly back into the range, into props, into ammo, rental guns, things like that, into insurance, and anything left over is going to go help support the range that's letting us do this and expand it.
All right, so if you have gone far enough to say, yes, I want to attend, I'm going to get a ticket, September 6th, 2025, check-in is 0800 to 9:30. Be there. If you do not meet check-in, you won't be able to shoot. Just how it is. Check it out, guys. This is our first inaugural shoot. I wish I could be there, but Nathan's going to be emceeing the thing.
Hell
and
yeah.
We're going to have some friends of the show out there too, so it's going to be a really good time.
I agree. I am super excited. We're doing prize categories for a lot of silly things like funniest runs, best costumes. No P320s allowed unless you dress like a clown. And also unloaded start. This isn't even a joke. Unloaded start.
For everyone's safety is really carry for the P320 owners.
Yes. $1 billion to Israel.
Just for saying that. Sorry, guys. All right. Anything else to mention, Nathan?
Come out, have fun, stay hydrated. We should have some food. We should have a good time. Meet your local schizophrenic retards. I hope to see you all there. Well, with you.
The good ones of you.
If this goes well, we'll be able to expand it next year. But having like 150 people running around with loaded guns like we did last year, maybe a bit much. Yeah.
And if it goes super well, we'll be figuring out a Schizo Shoot East. So keep that in mind, and maybe I'll see you out at one, and you can watch me suck ass shooting pistol.
Wear a fun costume, you'll get a prize.
Hell yeah. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. check out Schizo Shoot, and let's get back to the show.
Okay, we're back. There's a coffee break for both of us. What were we talking about a second ago? ADHD.
Yeah, it was okay. We're talking like AI.
Right, yeah. Just parasocial
like,
relationships with AI and everything else.
Oh yeah, and like kind of tying it to I know your listeners want to hear like the paranormal thing. I hate AI. Well, let me put this like AI. I think has a place as like an assistant. Like if you use ChatGPT as an assistant, it's actually very useful.
Yes,
it should never replace anything because it's just like not the same. When I won't go too far into that, but like AI generated content has done insane damage to like society, and not to the point of like creativity, right? Because whatever, like I won't get into that, but AI has killed people's ability to speculate and critically think, and not in the way people like being lazy, but like everything I don't believe on the internet is clearly AI generated. There is like very few comments that get me like like crashing out when I go onto like a comment of the store and they're like, AI generated writing. No one writes like that. And I'm just like, how could you put it like that?
Yeah.
Like you could go run it through an AI reader if you want. Like, I don't know. Like everyone, like if I even like remotely post, and sometimes I like to create like AI images, like I'll plug in the story and just see what it creates. Like, especially if it involves like a cryptid.
Oh, I bet people get real poopy about that.
Yeah, like, and it's actually like I sent it to people to submit, and they're like, yeah, that's actually like almost exactly what I saw, and like, I think that's like actually kind of like an interesting tool to build these representations for things people are seeing, and people get so fucking butthurt, they just instantly assume I've like AI generated it, and it's just like, not everything you don't believe on the internet is AI generated. Like,
you've been doing this for years and years and years. AI is a new, like, it has come out of nowhere within the last year and a half, 2 years.
Dude, my favorite is when like I'll post something that's been like internet history for a while, and some fucking Zoomer fuck will. I'm sorry if I'm cussing,
dude. Dude, no one fucking cares. You're fine.
All right, cool. Some Zoomer fucking piece of shit. It's like, this is AI generated. I'm like, bitch, don't fucking talk to me about internet fucking lore and history. I was there when it was written. I was there on 4chan when dudes were posting up alien pictures and fucking like actual skinwalker fucking evidence before normies ruined the whole thing on X.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking try me. I've been around for a minute, and I've been terminally online for a while.
Yeah. I feel that. Everything is so weird now because you'll find stuff that is genuine, like old internet. Old internet. And all the comments will be like, oh, this is AI. This is AI generated. And on the inverse, you'll have videos of... I saw a video earlier of a car running over a robot. Like a robot's walking through the street and it trips over, and then like a Range Rover runs over its head. And it's clearly AI if you know what to look for, but no one really knew that. I'm sure if you scroll down far enough in the comment history, it would have, but primarily it was just slurs against robots, which I do very much support. Fucking clankers. Tin skin pieces of shit. I wish I was driving that car.
Dude, clankers. Do you think Star Wars
I want these
foresaw
robots and like elves to exist so I can be racist to them? Like all these fictional races, but robots are the closest. I just need a new people group to discriminate against, but they're not people, so they don't count.
Yeah, Skynet motherfuckers.
It's what's the phrase? Tin skin, George
Tin
Droid.
skin. Dude, that shit's wild. But no, it's even funnier too. I have like a conspiracy theory about it. It's just like, I'll give a good example is like the AI Bigfoot meme. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen tons of them.
So yeah, go on Instagram right now. Go type in Bigfoot evidence or Bigfoot video or just Bigfoot, and it's all the AI videos. You have to scroll down a bit to see like something as like famous as like the Patterson Gimlin film, or like some like I can barely find some of the more compelling pieces of Bigfoot evidence on there now because it's
Holy
all
shit,
fucking,
you're not wrong. It's that and e-girls for some reason.
Yeah, I can never get rid of the e-girls no matter how hard I try either.
Yeah,
but like dude, like it's all gone. It's not gone, but it's buried underneath it. Like, who the fuck? Like, the Bigfoot thing is not even funny. I mean, maybe it's like a har, but it's like so overdone and proliferated. Like, it makes me wonder, But then again, like, people are crazy. Like, I don't buy too much into the Project Bluebeam thing because,
Yeah.
you know, oh, the government's going to fake an alien invasion. I'm like, you really? Okay, so the government's either completely inept or completely powerful. Pick
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. You can't really have both. I do think, you know, like the things that the government has done that are horrific and awful and declassified now, they're awful. But the idea of faking an alien invasion, like there's so many levels of like perfect OPSEC, and you know all of these people kind of coming together. I've read Watchmen though. I know how this ends.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, you know, Osmedes had a point there.
Yeah. I remember they changed in the movie to fake a attack from Dr. Manhattan. Everyone got poopy about it. In the comics, it was like they basically took the science that created Dr. Manhattan and cloned a giant squid monster. And I think they just like wiped out one city. I can't remember. It's been fucking.
It was New York, but
Yeah, but it was just Project Bluebeam.
But the whole there's actually historical context to that.
Yeah.
It was during I believe it was Reagan and Gorbachev. They actually, and I find this interesting, they actually had a conversation that was recorded, and it was basically like in a speculative scenario. He had asked Gorbachev, or is it Khrushchev? I can't remember exactly. Pardon me, but he had asked his counterpart on the Soviet side, you know, if the United States was attacked by aliens, would the Soviet Union assist in like defending, you know, America from aliens? And the answer was yes. And then then the Soviets asked the same question, and the answer was, of course, we would help. America would help the Soviets if there's an alien invasion. So like that's why it's in the Watchmen, like with the setting up the fake alien. There's actual historical context behind that.
That actually makes a lot of sense, and I'd never heard that before. That's really fucking cool, actually.
Yeah, let me see if I can actually pull up the quote real quick.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of these things that, like, you know, it's not really well known. Ronald Reagan never actually led a defense against alien invasion. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate AI sometimes. I have to find the exact quote, but it was a discussion about, like, you know, the hypothetical. Oh yeah, if in 1985 summit, he asked in the 1985 Geneva summit, he asked Gorbachev if the Soviets would help the U.S. if attacked by extraterrestrials, to which Gorbachev agreed. And Reagan responded that the U.S. would also aid the USSR in an exchange that Gorbachev would later recount as a meaningful moment between the two countries.
That's actually really neat. I did not know that at all.
Yeah, that's like that's I tell people why that's like why it's a plot device in the Watchmen, you know, and it makes you wonder, like, how deep does that even go? That's just what they've said on record. And like I have, like, when you start looking into like the schizo theories about the solar warden program and shadow governments and shit like that, it's like it gets pretty plausible that there's this whole shadow agreement between countries when it comes to like aliens and extraterrestrials. You know, the book Old Man's War is a really great science fiction series, but kind of like the gist of it. Yeah, the gist of it, without spoiling too many of the details, is so there's Earth, right? There's Earth and its governments, and they do their own thing, but there's this higher, overarching, like, governing power that is like in charge of everything outside of Earth, like all the colonies and space travel and everything like that. And they basically recruit from Earth to build the army. From, you know, I won't go into too many details, but like they keep, more or less, Earth is in the dark of what's happening in the rest of the galaxy, right? Because we're constantly at war with all these alien species because there's more or less not enough habitable planets. So we're constantly fighting these other alien species for their colonies, and they're fighting for our colonies, and vice versa. But part of like what comes up later in the books is like this government is keeping Earth in the dark, and people on Earth don't even know what's happening, other than like, oh yeah, that we have an army and we send people to go to colonies. Yeah, you know. And I find it funny, like that's pretty plausible. That could be something like that, like happening now, and we just would never even know.
That's the real reason for the Space Force.
Right? Yeah, that I've told people, like, I 100% believe there's fucking giant lasers or weapons in space. Like, I 100% believe we've militarized space, but like we can't. That's like the next nuclear bomb. Like the first person to announce it loses the edge. So it's like we're waiting. I'm convinced like we have shit up there.
Yes, honestly, I think so too. Like I think you're right. Sorry, was I really quiet until now?
No, totally fine.
I just realized for a bit of this, it's behind my pop filter, so I couldn't see. My mic was facing the wrong direction. Okay, BR,
No
I
worries.
apologize for that. Kind of reminds me of a book series that I'm reading right now a little bit. I've brought this up in the show before, but I'm enjoying it. It's called Savage Wars, and kind of the general plot of that is uh, like the world Earth is going through a bunch of climate crises and economic crises and everything else, and billionaires and tech CEOs and all of that get together and they buy their way into space and they build massive colony ships and they just fuck off. They don't really have any clear directions and there's tons of them, but they just leave Earth because it's worse staying Earth than it is to leave. Earth eventually, manages to fix everything. They manage to get the climate under the control. They manage to fix the economy, like the crashing global economies. They unfuck themselves and they continue to develop tech and basically like eventually develop FTL travel and hyperdrives and all of that, and they start to colonize space. But those people that many years ago went into space on their own, they developed their own tech trees. They eventually ran out of calories and started to have to go to increasingly bizarre, ways to sustain themselves and their brain functions. Some of them found weird, unknowable things in the vast, dark reaches of space between stars where there's nothing. It's a really good series, and I really recommend it if you're into the sort of stuff that you are.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. And they come back, and they are no longer human. And
yeah, I
awesome.
like that idea.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's a really neat idea. It does kind of turn into a bit of a military procedural at points, which I don't enjoy quite as much. But the concept, like conceptually, I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to look at that. Savage Wars, you said?
Savage Wars, 3 books by Jason Ansbach and Nick Cole.
Oh shit, I love science fiction.
Me too.
Because,
me too.
Like most science fiction nowadays is lame.
Yes. It's science fiction, but it's very grounded in reality, and you can tell these guys were in the army because they write like it, for better and for worse.
Oh yeah, no, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah. I hate, I don't know, some people told me to read the 3-body problem, and I'm just like, I tried, and I was like, boring. Science, boring.
No, this one's very, I think you'd like it. I really liked it. I'm on the 3rd book right now.
No, I'm all about, there's another trilogy kind of like that. It was called the original release trilogy. I think it's a 21 book series now. It was called the Heritage Trilogy, and it's pretty cool. It's like about Marines in space, and
what's it called?
The Heritage Trilogy.
Heritage. Who's it by?
I gotta look up real quick. It's been I read this like almost 10 years ago, when I had plenty of time to read books.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that.
Semper Mars is the first book.
Okay. Well, what's it about? Like, what's the core concept?
It's like in the future, kind of like in our time now. It's by Ian Douglas. Yeah, Ian Douglas. Yeah. And it's kind of like, in the future, America is like kind of floundering. The UN is like kind of dominated by the Chinese are kind of like the dominated power that kind of run the UN. Yeah. And they more or less like have colonies in space. And then now we go through this conflict in space in between the UN. I think it starts off in Mars.
Yeah.
They find basically alien ruins on Mars, and the United States dispatch a expeditionary force into space, kind of like, and there's a lot of callbacks to like the Marines when they were like the tools of America from like the sea to the shore. Yeah. And so there's like kind of like that. There's kind of like, it's kind of cool that they tied into history in that first book. And while they're on Mars, the UN declares war on the US and NATO and their allies. And so their World War III happens on the planet. And then they send forces to Mars to secure these alien ruins. And it like basically kicks off this trilogy. And it's 9 books. I'm sorry. So there's the Heritage Trilogy, the Legacy Trilogy, and then the Inheritance Trilogy. And it's like each one is progressively further and further into the future.
I may have just bought Semper Mars while you're talking about it, the first book in the series.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it goes into like, how they talk about the dark forest theory, which for the listeners that didn't know.
I love that.
Like, there's alien life, but everyone's being quiet because it's the minute like intelligent life communicates itself, either other intelligent life or another force comes and wipes them out. And so it involves heavily on that. And it's kind of like one of the most badass names for an evil alien, race out there, the Hunters of the Dawn,
Ha!
I
love
think
that.
I've
I'm
read,
going to start that soon after my current series.
I think I've read all the Heritage trilogy, and I think I've read the first book of the Legacy trilogy. If I haven't read anything else after that,
Yeah.
I probably need to finish that. But
It sounds
they're
good.
cool
I
books.
really like dark science, like the concept of humanity digging up old alien tech, or finding something floating around in space somewhere. Like, have you ever seen the movie Event Horizon?
Oh, I love that book.
One of my favorite movies.
100% of Warhammer 40k in the Warhammer 40k universe.
Yeah, it's just like they found the warp.
pretty
It's the
much.
plot of Doom. It's the plot of 40k. It's the plot of all of that. Just like dark science vessel goes into space somewhere and discovers like unknowable science. Like in this case, literally a portal to hell.
Yeah, and I love science fiction books like this. Like it's hard for me to get into. Like I like reading, and it's hard for me to get into some of the fiction they have nowadays because I feel like it's just kind of like the same stuff over and over again. To be honest, and it's like the same tropes, and if everything gets reused, and then there's the even worse sin where it's like we're going to take the vampire story, but we're going to make them tragic. No, vampires are fucking evil.
Yeah, we're going to make him sexy and tragic.
Gay.
Yes.
Underworld already killed it. Underworld already killed that.
Underworld was peak
They nailed
fiction.
it.
Yes.
Blade?
Who was that, Kate Winslet?
Peak.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I heard the new Blade isn't going to have leather or hunting vampires. Like that is Blade. That is Blade. What
That's
are you
like
going to have?
literally and don't get me started. They brought him back in Deadpool and the Deadpool Wolverine, and like I love the original Blade. Blade Trinity is a great movie. I love watching that as a kid. Like,
yeah,
I think he killed it as Blade, and like they should totally bring him back. I hate this. Like, it's like I saw a tweet about modern views on this. It was like, there's like a TV in the 60s. There'd be a TV series called Surfing Dracula, and every single episode would be about that Dracula surfing his way through zany adventures. And then nowadays Netflix would release Surfing Dracula, and it would be the whole season would be a long flashback about how he got into surfing and then why he abandoned it. And the last 5 minutes of the season would be him getting back on the surfboard.
But you don't actually see him surf. He's like
holding
the surfboard and looking at the waves, and he's about to get in the water, and then the music swells and it cuts to credits. Maybe it'll get a season 2.
And then it gets canceled.
Yeah. I do think that we're living in kind of an age of some good television. Have you seen Alien Earth?
I've not yet. I've heard good things about it.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah, it's a lot of practical effects, a lot of like very outdated, but in the best kind of way, camera work.
Like the original movies.
Like the original movies. Everything's like very cassette futuristic. And what I really like is it doesn't follow Ridley Scott's... I'm sorry, guys, this is a movie podcast now. We're talking about sci-fi movies. What I really like, it doesn't follow Ridley Scott's continuity. Like all the shit you see in Prometheus or Alien Covenant are not there. It's just...
I'll say this, I guess, for the listener's sake, we should probably get back to the spookiness. But
yes.
I fucking hated Prometheus, and I fucking hated Covenant.
Covenant was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I almost walked out of the theater.
I grew up watching Alien Resurrection was peak.
Yes.
They should have... I don't know why people say they hated it, because I will tell you that the Alien movie they made is literally... has like half of the second half of the movie is literally Alien's Resurrection. But I digress. Yes. Those movies sucked. I grew up reading all the Aliens comics, reading the Aliens books, all the Dark Horse novelizations. Like the keys to success were all there. Yeah, and they chose this. It goes back to what we were saying. Like, we're going to explain religion and God and talk about these hard topics for humanity, and they managed to do it in the most boring way possible.
Yeah.
Pause.
Like, I didn't hate Prometheus. Like, I understood what they were trying to do. I think most of the problems with Prometheus were the writing, not necessarily the concept. But it retconned a lot of good stuff from the comics, and it retconned a lot of, like, and it mysteriously also, like, I really like the cassette futurism of the 70s, 80s Alien movies, and they got rid of all of that. Now it's glowing blue holograms and tech that didn't exist in this universe. And it kind of makes sense because it's Weyland Yutani's like high-end research vessel. But so I'm going on a tangent. Let's get back in. I could talk about Prometheus in the Alien universe for way longer than I should.
No worries, man.
Yeah, but David, I think, is the best part about that movie, as everyone would say. Just what's his face, the fella that played him, just chewing the scenery for 2 hours.
I guess I don't know. The whole movie, I was like, this is bad. But yeah,
it was indeed. Prometheus was aggressively mediocre. I think if I watched it not knowing it was an Alien or Alien Universe movie, I would have liked it more than it was. Alien Covenant was aggressively bad, regardless of what universe it was.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Anyways, yes, it's been a minute since we've talked about spooky things, ghosts, Bigfoots, or UFOs in a minute. I want you to tell me, like, what are the first things that come to mind that have happened, been declassified, just anything over the last couple of years that stood out to you and you got autistically hyperfixated on?
I mean, I will tell you that the great yappening has always gotten me worked up.
Tell me.
And that is like, oh, UFO disclosure. Any day now, they're going to disclose the UFOs. And they proceed to yap and yap around things. And, in my opinion, like historically, this is true. There's the United States government has used the UFO agenda to kind of distract whenever we have technology out that we're utilizing.
Like those pesky lists that we all know don't exist. Hey, it's UFOs.
Yeah, 100%. 100% this is known that they've done this. I mean, but then there's if you watch UFO by J.J. Abrams, they discuss this at the Dulce base in New Mexico, or it was a base in New Mexico. It was not Dulce or something else. Where this guy had claimed that he saw, UFOs and these alien crafts and technology. And what it was the OSI discovered that he saw the F-117 and some other high-tech top secret pieces of equipment that we were using to like mess with Soviet satellites. Yeah. And to keep him from blabbing about it, they basically told him like, yeah, it's alien tech. The OSI agent goes on that was there. And he was like, yeah, I convinced him it was alien tech. And what gets interesting is the guy created like his own UFO research organization or whatever, and was actually able to get evidence and images of activity and objects in the sky that the Air Force couldn't identify as any known craft. So
that's wild.
Yeah, like kind of like swings back and forth there. But I do I like all this stuff about disclosure. I do think sometimes it's a mask, and not in a Project Bluebeam kind of way, but like whenever like President Trump took over and announces we have the fucking whatever on 6th generation fighter.
Yeah,
like it's out there, it's flying around. Coincidentally, looks like a fucking UFO. Looks like it's like a black triangle. The B-21 Raider. You know. I'm sure that thing has been flying a lot longer than they've let on,
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure there's a little bit of like the smoke and mirrors of the UFO, but it's like, there's so much crazy stuff like, like when the Tic Tac happened, right? And they declassified the Tic Tac videos, like that got me like, whoa, this is crazy. Like,
I was going to say that was only a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, but like I have talked to people that were there on the ship when it happened, that tell me like it wasn't a drone, it wasn't an aircraft. People saw this thing from the ship too, not just the pilots. People saw the suits and the mysterious people that came on the ship to confiscate all the footage and debrief all these people. So like something happened on that ship. All the stuff that happened off of the coast of California, getting swarmed by lights and the drone footage, and like there's the video of like the swarm of objects coming towards the ship, and then the videos of like objects coming in and out of the water off of what I presume to be San Clemente Island, which is also a hotspot for paranormal activity off the coast of California, because it's a naval test fire range too. Yeah,
I think we talked about that last time a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird coincidence that all that stuff happens out there. But like I think. The yappening is what I call it. Like when they had the UAP hearings like last year,
Yeah.
People ask me like, what do you think about it? And I think I posted the meme. This is my opinion. It's yapping.
Yeah.
Because like they would go on and they would talk. They would give you all these little eggs, little Easter eggs of like, yeah, here's a little taste. Here's a little taste of what you want to hear. Can you talk
Kind
about
of like
it?
the yeah, giving all the influencers the Epstein files kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah, don't get me started.
yeah, it's enough to take headlines, but I feel like even now people are just tired of it. No one trusts the government to do fucking anything, much less disclose anything that they're talking about. Like,
which goes also back to kind of like a reverse blue beam. Is this stuff could exist, but like you said, like it's a good thing with the Epstein files. Yep, it's been run into the ground so much, people are starting to not care.
Yeah, which
Same
could be
UFOs.
a tactic, all things considered.
It could be a tactic with UFOs because, like, they have admitted there's stuff happening in the skies when it comes to UAPs and UFOs. They don't know what it is. They don't know who it is. They don't know if it's even of this earth. They've admitted that some of this stuff defies human engineering that we know currently. That could be a lie, but that the movement over there, it's the yapping, if you will, could also be an attempt to kind of like discredit, what happened in Jersey with people like this proliferation of all this stuff. Like, it's like the same thing with the National Enquirer. I don't know if you're familiar with the National Enquirer, right?
Oh, yeah. You used to be able to buy that in basically every grocery store. What was the other one?
Do you know
the Weekly World News.
Do you know about the National Enquirer, the founder?
No, tell me.
Yeah, so the founder was the head of the CIA psychological warfare.
Really?
Yeah. And so what the National Enquirer initially started was a kind of, it may not have been a, what's it called? He might have been the founder. It might have been a protege of the guy. But basically, the National Enquirer was created as a ways to, like, when stuff went out, when stuff happened, right?
Yes.
Like a UFO lands in, on the front porch of the White House, actually happens. We need to cover this up. You throw it in the National Enquirer next to like Hillary Clinton ate my dog. Yeah. And people are going to look at it and be like, that's ridiculous. And like throw that shit out. Right.
My mind jumps to I remember seeing this on a shelf when I was a teenager. Osama bin Laden bioengineered mosquitoes with AIDS or something. Like,
yeah. So
like it was a picture of Osama bin Laden and mosquitoes, and it was about a plague. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and I'll point out something that I point. Like, have you ever seen Men in Black?
Yes, of course.
All right, so you remember Tommy Lee Jones? Jay takes him over to the tabloids, right? Yeah. Do you remember what he says about the tabloids? He's like, "This is where you find the real news." And he's looking through the magazine, and he finds the article about my husband's been replaced by a bug. Yeah, and that's the story he knows is true. And that whole thing, there was something true in there.
Yeah.
So
what's that phrase though? You sprinkle a little bit of truth into a lie, and it makes the lie more credible.
Exactly, and it just kind of distracts people. And that's why, what's they say? A broken clock is right twice a day, something like that. Yeah. So you can look into it. There's a lot of that, I think, online too, and it's just gotten even worse when it comes to social media and the UAP stuff being like the biggest thing, and like for every piece of credible evidence you get 100 fucking schizos that muddy the water so much that reasonable people will just throw it out the window and like not even
100%.
Same thing with like the AI now, right?
Yeah.
And
part of it too is like dead internet theory as well. Like how much of this is controlled opposition? How much of this is just outright bots?
Yeah, how much of it is legitimately lost to the annals of data? Yeah. Right? Like if you go onto 4chan right now and go onto the X archives, you can't find like half of the posts that I remember.
Yeah.
Or like Reddit No Sleep is a good example. So Reddit No Sleep is like a fan fiction thing now.
Yes.
It used to be. Yeah, it used to be
religiously.
Yeah, because it was supposedly true stories. It was kind of like Tales from the Grid Square.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt, but then the fucking normies swarmed it. Not even normies, but then all these people swarmed it and started making up, heckin' skinwalkers and making it their own fan fictions and shit and killed it.
Yeah, it's like SCPs.
Same thing with SCPs, right? Yeah. Even though SCP was fiction from the get-go,
yes, I agree.
People just suck out all the life of it, and overload.
Yeah. What's the phrase? Enshittification.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad, and it's even gotten. It's like it makes it really hard to like kind of like be a researcher when it comes to like the weird and the paranormal. Because like, yeah, it's like with Tales from the Grid Square, like I could post a story on there. I really don't have time to verify. I can kind of like read it and pass a sniff test with my own base military knowledge, or like certain things if they stand out to me. I have people I could talk to and be like, hey, does this make sense? Like, this guy said he was in the Ranger Bat. Well, I know several people in the Ranger Bat. Like, do you know this guy? Does this make sense to you? And they can give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Like, yeah, that's a guy's bullshit. Easy, like, right? But for the most part, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, it's like if I can't believe every single story. That means if even one of them is true, then they're all true, right?
Yeah. And I think that the tactic of just like if inconvenient to the standing party truth gets out there, just fill the airwaves with as much shit as you possibly can, so people become demoralized. Like people just cease caring.
Oh yeah, that too. And then like
that applies to stuff like this as well.
Absolutely, and like the culture of nihilism that has been pervaded through the West too is wasn't like this. Statistically speaking, as much as it seems like things are bad in the world, we do live in a very rare time of prosperity.
Yes,
right.
Prosperity,
as much as like
peace.
We are aware of how bad things are in certain places, right? But for the most part, a lot of us do live in prosperity and peace, which is unheard of in human history.
Most of human history, yeah.
Most of human history, and so, but if you would fall into like this, doom and gloom, like I think people become nihilistic to the point of they just don't care about anything anymore, which in itself is also kind of scary. And that's why you'll definitely see me on Tales from the Grid Square posting, like, if you go into my story, it's never really paranormal stuff. It's all positive, funny memes I can find, because it's just like, I don't believe in nihilism or anything like that. Like I think I resent that line of thinking, because
there's something I appreciate about you.
It's like, the best way to dog walk nihilism is, Smiling Friends. Do you seen Smiling Friends?
I fucking love Smiling Friends.
You the nihilist episode?
Which one? I'm halfway.
No, please.
I'm a
please
third.
Don't shoot me. Please don't kill me. What? I was just gonna blow your brains out, bro. Like fucking dog walk to nihilism, like so easy. Like but just like going back into the paranormal,
real myth of Sisyphus shit. Like, all right, if everything sucks so much, why don't you just fucking kill yourself?
Don't actually kill yourself, because everything doesn't
do
suck.
not do that. This is not legal advice.
Go eat a Hot Pocket and drink a fucking Coca-Cola. I will tell you, life is worth living.
Yes, go to the gym. Go lift a heavy thing.
Go to the gym. Like, trust me. If things were truly hopeless, they wouldn't need to tell you that it's truly hopeless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm Mr. Frog.
Yeah, Mr. Frog. But yeah, when it comes to like the last like 3 years, like I think there's been a lot more things have gotten a lot more mainstream. Like, giants. People have been talking about giants now a lot more.
Giants in Afghanistan. We talked about that in the first episode.
You're talking about the first episode, but like, the Smithsonian has giant skeletons. Like, dude, I remember reading about that when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I had books. Like, this stuff is like, it's like old news is becoming mainstream again, and it's like paranormal and the woo and like that stuff is like becoming mainstream, and I've noticed that more and more and more. And I've also noticed this like uptick in like the fake generated videos and stuff like that. And like people do make that. Some of them are pretty good, to be honest. I've seen plenty of videos. I'm like, dude, if this was fake, they did a really fucking good job of faking this. Like this is actually hard to fake, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like the one with the dude in the haunted middle school when the balloon fucking follows him. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that. I always assumed it was like a microfilament like wire or something around his leg. Like something that wouldn't get picked up, but I also don't know. I don't know.
I think that one's 100% legit. That one gives me the chills every single time.
Yeah. His reaction, fake, like his reaction was very realistic.
Oh, you can always tell when it's like that visceral reaction to real fear.
Yeah.
You can't replicate. Yes. Even the best actors can't do it. Like, and that dude, like you could feel his fear through the screen. And there's all sorts of videos. I think there was a video a while back I've seen a couple. I don't like watching it, to be honest. It's like this dude's shirtless on the side of the road, and like these people are driving by and they're like, "Hey man, are you all right?" And they're like talking to him. He's just kind of like staring. He looks kind of weird. And then he like drops down to his hands and knees and starts crawling on his hands and legs. And like you watch his like limbs get longer. What? And like his body starts to change, dude. It's so fucking
This is an older video?
This is an older video that's been around. I do not fucking like it. I don't know if it's fake or not. It might actually have been taken in Canada somewhere, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Canada's full of all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like one of my favorite videos of all time with gnomes is from, I believe it's from Alberta.
What happens?
It's like these dudes it's on, like on one of the reservations in Alberta. I'll see if I can find it, man. Again, all this shit gets buried. It's so hard to find up these videos. I just need to start saving them. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I'm super curious.
Because like I've posted it actually a couple times. Actually, hold on, I can find my thing. And so like, some people think it's fake. I don't personally think it's fake. I think it's legit. And it's like, the video is a clip of these people looking at this rock and shining this light on this rock, and they're talking. They're like, something's there, and they shine this light, and you see something peek out from behind the rock, and then dart his head back and do a turkey peep, right? And they're like, oh, what was that? And then as they're shining the light, you see something step out like completely, and it looks no shit like a little person. Yeah. And you see another little person come out and grab that dude and yank him back, right? And like, if it's fake, it's a good fake, man.
Yeah,
like it's really a pretty good fucking fake. Yeah. I personally don't think it's fake. I think that's legit because I do believe in gnomes and I think they're real. Where the hell is this video, man?
Yeah, please send that to me. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just watched the gnome video. Those are gnomes. That was not a human child. That was too small.
Right? Creepy, man. It's like,
that was creepy. Like, if that was fake, that's a really good fake.
And it's so hard to find stuff like this now on the internet.
Yeah, stuff just gets scrubbed over time.
Yeah,
and it's like real life SCP Foundation, I guess. The real Men in Black.
Shit just gets buried and pushed away, and it's like, you know,
wait until something's memory hold. Yeah?
I guarantee you, if I repost that video today, I guarantee I get at least 4 comments about it being AI generated, and that video came out, I think, like way before AI was even a thing.
Yeah, and the rest of the people would be like, "Oh, that's just a 3-year-old."
Yeah, it's just 3-year-old.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I have thoughts that mostly that's a fucking gnome, and like, what do you do if you find a gnome? Do you
tickle?
But like, is that bad luck? Do you eat it? Do you befriend it? What do you do?
Yeah, I don't even know. Depending on the culture, right, and the situation.
Yeah, like are they actively hostile?
Some of them are, like, you know, some cultures, like, they're not good business to be around.
They're not good at all. Yeah, it's like, depending where you are in Europe, it's between just like a good luck friend and they're going to eat your children kind of thing.
Yeah, in North America, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, man,
like here in Hawaii, like, you know, fucking, there's even story like the little people stories prevail through every culture on Earth.
They do. They actually do. Same with like kind of skinwalkers, which we talked about last time. Kind of.
Oh yeah, and it's just like, it goes back to like, I go into these theories. It's like, you know, do I have conclusive proof? I would argue no, right? Even with all these stories, right? But like, start putting together the dots here. Like, you know, all these cultures have the same fucking story, like the same story, like the flood. Yeah, all these cultures have a story of the flood. You know. Something happened, right?
Yeah, cultures that aren't connected and have never been connected.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. There's, you talk about Bigfoot. There's one. If you really want to see some interesting Bigfoot footage, go look into like Bigfoot footage from Russia. And like,
really?
Oh yeah. There's actually a few videos out there, and you know, now going back to that Bigfoot AI thing, like, you used to be able to find them easily on Instagram. Not anymore because of that fucking Bigfoot AI video. But like, there were videos in Russia of things that look like apes running around, you know.
That's interesting.
And like, it's some places in Ukraine to Belarus to like Russia, Siberia, and like, you know, there's legends in Russia of a Bigfoot-like creature. They call it the Alma, like shit the Yeti, you know.
Yeah,
is a prevailing legend. You know, it's like, wow, just like North America. So can you really say this is fake? I mean, maybe it's just something as simple as a relic hominid, like something from our past.
We used to be connected to that area of the world with a land bridge.
Exactly.
It is, yeah.
The Highland gorilla was thought to be a myth for the longest time until they found it.
Yeah. Like, all of this stuff permeates through cultures, and it makes sense. This reminds me, a couple episodes ago, I did with a Orion training group, Jared, who has a lot of thoughts about a lot of this stuff, and generally our episodes will devolve into talking about angels and UFOs and like biblical connections between angels and UFOs. And in this case, have you ever seen the Missing 411 documentaries, or do you
I
know
love
about
it.
them?
Yeah, the
Yes.
missing 411 is super interesting. I think, it's really interesting to find. One, it's tragic. All these people, for the listeners, it's like, in national parks in America, there's not really a system to report and find people that go missing, right?
Yeah.
And there's a substantial amount of people that actually go missing in national parks. I think Outside Magazine wrote a really creepy article about like how people go missing. Something as simple as like you and I are on a trail and we're walking together and I'm like, I'll race you and I'll run up ahead of you and I go around the corner. You lose sight of me for like a second, maybe
Yeah.
two. You run around the corner and I'm gone. It's like I never existed.
Never
And
to be
then
seen again.
Never to be seen again. You go searching for, well, never to be seen. Go search for months with hundreds of people combing the woods. You find my body in the exact same spot you stopped.
Yeah.
But
If
how
we
did I
ever
get
find
there?
your body.
If we ever find your body, like
Yeah.
crazy weird details, and like the one that freaks me out the most is the hunted, especially when they include the Robert Moorhead footage.
Yeah? Tell
the
me about
Sierra
it.
sounds.
Yeah?
If the listeners that don't know, there's a group of hunters were poaching more or less up in the Sierra Nevadas. If I recall correctly, it's the Sierra Nevadas in California, and they had more or less built like their own little fort up there out of the trees and like kind of made a little shelter for themselves when they would go out there because it was so rough. They had to go out like donkeys and go hoof it. Couldn't drive out there, right? So they're off the beaten track.
Yeah.
And they claim that when they had gone on one of their last few trips they were there, they kept hearing weird stuff at night and it would get louder and closer and they would see things in the woods and whatever. And so one night they all fell into their little like more or less fort because it was like kind of built like a fort and locked the doors and are all sitting there at night and they recorded like all these sounds at night that they call it samurai chatter of it sounds like animals or like apes almost or something yelling and screeching and talking back and forth with each other. And it sounds like a language. It sounds like multiple things talking out there and yelling out there in the woods all night. And it's pretty creepy actually when you hear it. Cause like I've heard elk call and I've heard deer calls and stuff like that. And like foxes and whatever. It does not sound anything like that.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that a lot.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure like I posted a couple of videos of weird noises in the woods, and there's like that one with like the dude's looking for mushrooms. He's like, "Oh, look at this mushroom!" And he hears this like roar. It's just like this roar in the middle of the woods. And he's like, "Yeah, it's time for me to go."
Yeah. Oh man, I hate that. That and we talked about this last time, but like a couple of my friends have had experiences like this, and I think some of them listened to the episode and they talked about it afterwards. Like hearing human voices from the woods, like the sound of speech, but it's not speech. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
Like I had an experience like that once, and it fucked me up. I do not go into the woods alone anymore. And I try and go to the woods at least once a week. But if like one of my friends is not free, or at least if I don't have my dog, yeah, fuck that.
Oh yeah, no. I do think that there's things that go bump in the night out there, and I do think like going back to the 411, like I think a lot of people just underestimate how dangerous the outdoors are and 100%. Get snatched up. Just by nature. And I do think that there's stuff out there that is like we haven't discovered. Yeah. And I do think there's people that get snatching up. I have a whole theory about Bigfoot like being real and like why the government's covering it up. I don't know.
I want to hear that, and I also want to hear about your theories on missing 411.
Yeah, so like, all right, so theory on Bigfoot, right? Bigfoot totally exists. I'm going to summarize this, right? Bigfoot totally exists. We'll never hear about it until it's absolutely like they can't avoid talking about it because one of our biggest industries is the timber industry. I'm sure in Canada it's like this as well too.
It's very much so. Yes.
So the minute we talk about one of the world's most elusive and rarest primates living in North America, the only North American ape is living in the backwoods, all of a sudden all this untapped wilderness being developed now goes up in protected areas, right? There goes that industry, right? And the things get a lot harder. Also, part two, these people tying it back to the 411, all these people going missing, if, probably safe to say, humans are a good source of meat and kind of dumb sometimes, people getting snatched up and eaten. Imagine if you had a child that went missing and you put two and two together when they announced that Bigfoot exists, that this thing just snatched him up and ate him. Would you
Yes.
not go out in a gun and kill every single one of these things you could find?
100%.
100%.
I mean, I might just do it fucking anyway. Like, it
Exactly.
just
There
might
might
be
just
my
be
Saturday.
people that are like, I want to go kill and eat Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You know, and so now you have this like,
All right,
it could just be stupid, dumb animals just
Yeah.
doing what animals do.
There's
get
an
wiped
apex
out.
predator out there. It's going in my tummy.
Oh yeah, I am the apex predator. Like
Yeah.
it would be a disaster. It would be a like ecological and economic disaster to admit that this thing was real, right?
Yes.
So I do think that there's probably an active cover up because it's just better to just ignore the problem. Do I think like it goes into like, oh, they sent in the special if you ever want to know when a story is absolute bullshit, if the Rangers go in and kill Bigfoot, it's bullshit. The Rangers
Yep.
are always involved with every fucking cryptid you can think of.
Yeah.
And I know several Rangers, they don't got time for that shit. And plus, if a group of Ranger bat boys killed Bigfoot, you would not be able to keep that. They would not be able to keep it secret. That they would have its dick hanging up in the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even lying. Like, these dudes are gooners, man. Like,
that tracks for every Ranger I've ever met.
Like they would kill this thing and then they would parade it. They would have its hide hanging somewhere in a team room somewhere.
Yeah, just like a rug.
Like there's no way. Anyways, but I digress. I do think like Bigfoot's out there, and I think it ties into a lot of people's disappearances or something else entirely, like the crawlers and skinwalkers.
Yeah,
and
crawlers
like
are one I 100% believe in.
Oh, me too. I have a book actually. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah,
that I found online. That's kind of like Tales from the Crypt, where it's like accounts and stories, and some of them are like, I had a dream about a weird creature that matches a crawler's description, and some of them are like, I'm driving along the road and this thing jumps out in front of my car and starts running after me.
Yeah, no, actually, I have 3 friends who all of which I would consider like not pieces of shit, not like liars, not like one of them is like a regular ass person, one of them's a former weapons tech who is just out in the woods on his own. The third one is also just like a regular person. They've all had crawler experiences all around the same area, and they are also like isolated groups. They don't really know each other. One of them saw the thing with a cohort of friends.
I had 2 stories of a crawler-like creature seen in the same area, and neither of these 2 individuals know each other. But I showed them each other's story, and I got them actually coincidentally around the same time. And maybe they faked it and coordinated, but I checked their friends, like they don't follow each other. And like their story was almost days apart.
Yeah. What happened?
They more or less see this like walking through the woods and come across this like weird human looking figure. It's pale. It's like not white, but it's pale. It's like it's thin. It's like emaciated. Has like long hands, weird shape and feet, long limbs, just kind of like disproportionate human, big black eyes, and it's like kind of sitting there crouching, like looking at him, just kind of staring at him, not being overly hostile, not being like a predator, but kind of like how a big cat would just be sitting there staring at you, and they like kind of get caught up, deer in the headlights look, and they like freak the fuck out, and either like the first dude like runs away and he hears something following him, and then it like breaks off after like a couple seconds, and the other dude like pulls up the gun and just starts blasting, and of course misses, and the thing dips out behind like a tree and runs off. You know. And
so I have an 11.5 Super Duty, and people are like, "Oh, that's overkill. Why do you take that in the woods?" This is why I take it into the woods.
Absolutely. 4570 government. Like fucking, you're the disease and I'm the cure.
Oh, dude, I'm looking forward to the Lima 6 belt feds coming out, so I can carry that. Like
Ohio Ordinance H car, 20 rounds of 30-06 going down range.
That is a fuck you. That is a fuck you. I like that.
Ohio Ordinance, if you're hearing me, please sponsor me.
Please sponsor this channel. Please. Oh, God. Oh, Lima 6 belt feds. Red right hand, please. Oh, God. I want a belt fed. Sorry, continue.
Like, oh, yeah. Like, I think the crawler phenomena, and I definitely want to talk to the other guy about it and hear his stories. Because I think, like, skinwalkers are a Navajo legend, right?
Yeah.
Like, from Arizona. Like, I don't think skinwalkers are, at its core, a shape-shifting, wizard, basically, that sold its soul to dark forces.
It's kind of been bastardized over time into like a catch-all phrase that more or less just covers crawlers. Like
100%. Like, you know Slender Man, right?
Yes.
So there's the rake of the Slender Man mythos, right?
Yeah.
Totally fake, right? But people were like, "Yo, dude, I've seen the rake." Oh, how could you
Yeah.
see the rake? It's fake. I made it up. No, I've seen this thing before running around the woods.
Yeah.
It was like used to listen to Monsters Among Us podcast.
I haven't heard it, but I'd like to.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't listened to it in a while. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't dived into. I've doing a lot of audiobooks and podcasts lately, but there
Yeah,
was
me
something
too.
with
I kind of switched to Audible a little bit. I still listen to my cohort of like horror fiction, but not a lot of horror nonfiction.
yeah, and there's like this people. There's this legend of called the Mirrored Men of it's like three dudes that kind of look weird and they walk like perfectly in sync with each other. And when you stop it, if you like give indication that you're seeing them, they'll stop and they'll like slowly turn in unison towards you. And like people black out and will wake up in someplace totally different they were at. Well, like a person aired this story where this person recounted this encounter with them. And all of a sudden, like all these people were talking about the mirrored men, like lost time and ending up in places they weren't at originally. And all this stuff, they so much that they did a whole episode, like it was like an hour and a half of just people telling the same story from different parts of like the deep South and rural America of like seeing these mirrored men or hearing stories of these mirrored men.
Yeah.
Real creepy Americana.
That is so creepy. That's so creepy. I hate that. That is a legend I haven't heard of, but now I want to deep dive it a little bit.
Not one I heard of too, and it seems to be like a very local thing.
Yeah.
Small town secret kind of stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of this stuff has a genesis. It does.
It does, yeah. Every story has a reason why that story's around, even if it's like not like if it's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find it super fascinating, especially coming out here in Hawaii. It's like, if you've never been out in Hawaii, like there is a lot of ghostly happenings here.
Yes.
Very compelling ghostly happenings. To the point where like there's places like I would not go at all because it's like almost demonic.
Yeah.
The Night Marchers, the Menehune, like I've seen ghosts here.
What are those?
So the Night Marchers, with kind of like summarizing it, is the ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors. So in Hawaiian culture, ancient Hawaiian culture, the warrior class was a class above, separate from everyone else, right? If you even gazed upon the warrior class as a commoner, like you were put to death, right? And so,
interesting.
Yeah, like ancient Hawaiian history, very, very brutal, very interesting kind of like rule sets and laws and beliefs they had. But that was one of them, right? So if you saw like these warriors, like you'd be put to death. So to kind of like prevent from having to put everyone to death as they were walking around, they would go up in their training areas where their barracks more or less in the mountains. They would train and live and whatever. And then to get food and bathe and come to the water, they would come down at night to avoid, so like, and they would carry torches and beat drums. So like everyone hears the torches, or here's the drums.
Yeah,
see
fucking
the torches,
go inside.
or like prostrate yourself on the ground and don't look up. Right.
Yeah.
And so to this day, there's trails where these ancient warriors had done this for years. And on the third day of the lunar cycle, the third to last day of the lunar cycle, they supposedly come down from the mountains. And this is very heavily ingrained in some of the culture out here. Like there are people that claim to have seen the Night Marchers. I have seen some weird stuff with it, like a line of lights on the mountains. And it's a very heavy part of like Hawaiian culture. And there's trails everywhere. I can go into, you can have a whole episode on this. Like for the listeners, a page I recommend is Mysteries of Hawaii. The host of the page runs a ghost tour out in town, and he's been doing it for years. And it's like I've learned so much history about like Hawaii, just kind of like this crazy happenings. And I will tell you, I've been on a couple of his tours, and I have gotten twice ghostly evidence of something on film, on camera.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's some pretty creepy shit that happens. Mysteries of Hawaii, definitely recommend it.
I'm going to follow that. I'm going to follow that right now. Mysteries of Hawaii or Ghosts of Hawaii?
Mysteries of Hawaii.
Okay, I'm following that right now. Hawaii Ghost Guy? Mysteries of Hawaii.
That's him.
Okay, got it. His @ is Hawaii Ghost Guy. Just like all one word. I swear I had something right before this, but I lost it. But yeah, no. scares the shit out of me. Have you seen the movie The Descent?
Oh, of course.
Oh God, that was I saw a meme the other day of like my 12-year-old always complains that horror movies these days aren't scared enough. So I decided to put
Oh,
on
I
The
love that
Descent.
video. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
you know those times you think where you just know that you fucked up as a parent? Yeah, this was one of them. So I saw that and I sent it to my wife and we watched it and holy fuck. Yeah, no, like
Dude, it's
not a lot.
scary.
Like I sit her through a lot of horror. No, not this one. Not this one. Like
Yeah,
we,
dude.
we still haven't made it all the way through, but there's so many like abandoned mines around here and like not really cave systems so much as like unnatural ones that were like old abandoned mining claims and whatnot. And I know there's a lot of ways to die in them, so I'm not super in a hurry to put a rebreather on and just fuck off into one. But part of me just wants to know. Part of me wants to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do think like the Descent is terrifying because I do think like the Descent is pretty realistic.
Yeah, and I've always liked that sort of not to spoil this 20-year-old movie at this point, but the plot of parallel human evolution has always really got me. Like I love that. That's why I like Savage Wars so much. Like this I don't think it's ever expressly stated, but it's heavily implied. This off branch of humanity that just fled into caves and evolved to be a cave creature effectively. Like they're no longer human. They still need to get their calories from somewhere. They're just really they're more or less the crawlers that people see.
Yeah, I think 100% that's legit.
Yeah.
Like I do think that like there's probably these people that have like devolved into these cave things living out there off the grid in these caves and like for the viewers you got to watch The Descent. It's pretty good. If you didn't know,
It's really-
actually the Descent is based off a book.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, by The Descent by Jeff Long is based off of like it's a great book. It was a trilogy he never finished, but the TLDR is like hell is a real place. It's like there's a whole underground hollow earth, a whole world inhabited by these like mysterious hominids called haddles. And it gets like the first book is like kind of horror, and then like it starts getting into like some really zany like biblical. Like the second book, it's like, oh yeah, now it's getting to like some real biblical. Like they find more or less like Satan, like an imprisoned being that can't leave, like Earth, like can't leave the hollow Earth. You know, it's a good series. Never finished it though. But the Descent, the movie, is based off that book. Like those, more or less, they find like a colony of haddles living in the caves.
I did not know that. I actually had no idea. I assumed it was like people who fled into the caves and just evolved, like generation after generation after generation of like living down in the caves, and they just bred. Eventually they got traits that were desirable. Like they can't see anyway. Okay, cool. They're like a bat now. They're more or less blind, but they have incredible echolocation. And
that's why they kind of look like look like demons.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, they're like weird demon people, and like I think of the description of the things in The Descent, and it kind of matches the description of what a lot of people are seeing in the woods, and it creeps me out. It does.
Oh yeah,
including my friends who saw them in fucking
creepy.
rural Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I do think that shit's fucking real.
Yeah,
like
I think so too.
It's like why people are scared of clowns, probably because the pale face and the dark eyes freaks is something in our deep ancestral memory, Yeah. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's dead bodies. It's dead bodies." I'm like, "Yeah, have you seen a dead body?"
Yeah.
Like, they don't kind of look like that, man. They look a lot uglier.
And it goes back to, like, I think about this one a lot too. Uncanny Valley, like the feeling of revulsion, disgust you get when you see something that looks like a person but not quite. Like one little thing is off. Like, what did we evolve that the feeling of disgust and fear and revulsion is there when you see a person that's like 5% different than a person, like a hyper realistic 3D render of a person, but their eyes are just a little dead, and you immediately notice it. Why? Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm just
well,
like
something to like think about too is Cro-Magnon is what we evolved from.
like my mind immediately jumps to like this is some ancient evolved survival tactic because there's something that looks kind of like us but isn't quite.
Yeah, like and one way to think about it is like ancient humans. We contended with Neanderthals and other hominids and other like pygmies and
Yes.
shit like that. So who knows? Maybe like the
Oh,
monsters.
100%. Like
maybe
there were a
those,
lot of offshoots and kind of like Homo sapiens won or like bred the other. It like either killed or bred them out.
Yeah, 100%. Really creepy to think about sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit. And this wasn't even that long ago if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Like humanity is more or less a blip.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, people I think also just think history is a lot longer than it really is. Like, from the time the Wright brothers flew a plane to now is only like a little over 100 years, or I'm sorry, probably 100, 124 years, 125 years.
Yeah.
That's not really a long time if you think about it. That's 1-2 generations. Yeah. We went from flying a fucking plane that could barely go a couple of 100 feet to putting people on the moon.
I think a lot about like how fast tech has advanced even from when I was a kid. Like the world is unrecognizable, but you don't really feel it while you're in it because it's like a frog in boiling water kind of thing with all these little changes. All these like it's very rare that you just like wake up and you go outside and it's like, wow, we're living in cyberpunk, but we kind of are in a lot of ways.
You better start believing in a cyberpunk dystopia. You living in one.
That's Gonk, Choom. That's Delta. Like,
what up, Choom? Another tangent. I started playing Cyberpunk 2077. I played for 2 weeks straight before I got hit with an insanely terrible wave of boredom with the game.
I'm surprised. One, you got it for two weeks. Did you play Phantom Liberty?
No, I haven't got there yet.
Just switch to Phantom Liberty. It's so fucking good. Like it's the DLC campaign for the game, and it's very like wham bam thank you ma'am. Like it throws you into a story and the pace is breakneck. It's good. I'd recommend it.
I'll check it out. Maybe I'll get another shot.
I can see the main story getting really boring, especially like if you're doing all the side stuff. It gets kind of repetitive. If you just blaze through it, then it's pretty quick.
But yeah, man, no, I do think it's pretty weird, man, with like how things are moving, how things are changing, what is going mainstream, what's not going mainstream, what people talk about, and it's just so strange.
It's really strange. Because culture just moves so fucking fast, and I think like, and this is a little worrisome. People are predictable. Like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't predictable. I'm sure that some early first gen like AI algorithm could probably figure me out like that. Like I don't think that any of us are like Google's algorithms were doing it way before AIs were a thing. Like I use the word AI really really loosely. Like I don't know. I'm sure maybe somewhere we are, but I don't know if we've actually reached the true point of the singularity and that we have an AI that's truly self-aware. Like that's just not how learning language models work. But maybe in some like DARPA black site or something, they have an enslaved, screaming, angry, sentient AI doing all the quantum computing calculations.
Nah, man, they're already on the internet. They just make memes that make no sense and go viral.
Yeah, we just need huh?
You ever thought about that? You ever thought about how like, something goes viral, like some meme or some joke, and you're like, why is this even funny? Like, it just seems off, but everybody thinks it's funny and it can proliferate.
Yeah, and all the comments are like thousands of likes on the like, this is amazing, like 5,000 likes, and you click on the profile, and it's fake. It's just a fake profile.
100%. I think it's AI creating things that people would think is funny, but missing the mark. Kind of. It's like movies. Like dog shit. Movies have been dog shit lately. Just dog shit writing. Right. Yeah. And like you just wonder, like, what the fuck are they thinking? Like people would be like, "Oh, it's the woke. We can't have good movies because of woke." Okay, all right, but like, have a prevailing theory. All right, bear with me here. Hits the metaphysical blunt. I think AI has been in use a lot longer than we think, and
I think so, too.
I think a lot of these nonsensical Netflix movies and TV shows where the script makes no fucking sense or is weird, right? And they just go with it. Like, why do they just go with it? I think it's because it was created by an AI,
Yeah.
overseen by writers of some type, right?
Yeah.
And the AI develops scripts and stories based off of what it thinks humans would like. Because we've already proven that AI can get it like kind of right, but it's still like it tries too hard, right? That's like the surest sign for me. I know something's AI when it tries too hard.
Yeah.
Right? Dare I say, it imposes upon itself.
Yeah. It imposes upon itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think I think technology is around a lot longer and a lot earlier than we think it is. Like, I 100% think, like, some of the stupid shit you see in media that makes no sense, and it's like, why did they choose to go with this? Why did they choose to write this script, right? It's because it's literally an AI overseen by screenwriters that writes a script based on what it thinks people are going to like.
Yeah. It's all marketing algos.
And,
like,
the one thing about algorithm is all it takes is a very vocal, small majority to throw off the algorithm like crazy.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Like, I do still enjoy movies now. That being said, I like got really into like indie quasi art house film, not like Netflix or like Amazon or whatever.
Oh man, he watching that art.
That
Art and War podcast.
But yeah, I read, and this kind of saddened me. It was an interview with the director Paul Schrader, like the guy who did Taxi Driver. And he said he saw 5 scripts, like movie pitches, done by AI, and he said they were all excellent and better than anything he could have done on his own. And that freaks me out.
Yeah, that is kind of freaky. It's like that scene
and
from...
ultimately, ultimately, I think like whatever side costs less money is the side that will win. It's always true.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And weirdly, whatever side the porn industry will take, and the porn industry is absolutely going to adopt AI if they haven't already.
Yeah, and I think it's going to pop. The bubble's going to pop eventually.
It has to. It really has to. I'm really hoping we're kind of in a .com bubble, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do see it like at least as a tool or a writing tool, or like any way to pay creatives less, just any way to take food out of those people's mouths, because fuck artists, right?
Yeah, I will play devil's advocate here. Some of y'all's friends do need to be truthful with you, because some people some artists are a little too up their own ass.
Yes, I do agree with that.
I support artists, but it's like, hey man, like if AI can recreate what you're doing, maybe it's a gut check for your skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I'm very lucky that my art, like all jokes aside, I work in an industry where AI cannot really take my job as of yet. It's definitely hurt my wallet. But like if a company comes to me and they're like, hey, we need our suppressor done in this way, in a way that breaks all of AI's like content filters. And it has to be on like a Daniel Defense Mark 18 with a Aimpoint Comp 5 and like really specific nerdy shit. Or like in one of them, I had to draw a woman in a red bikini for resilient suppressors, and AI would not do it. It just wouldn't. I did it just to prove a point. I'm just like, woman sitting, like I gave AI the same prompt that I drew, and it would just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I'm like, okay, yeah, like maybe my job for now is at least a little safe.
Yeah, and that's like, I do think AI has had this role in society. It will never replace artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do think, though, yeah, like you said, the cheaper option, like if I want a simple trench art design and I go to a certain artist, they're going to charge me $1,000 per picture. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I understand supporting your art, but it's also, understanding like I'm also supporting a customer. I'm as someone who's trying to save money, I'll go and use AI because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the right answer, but it's like I also see like why we as I feel like AI it's going to pop, but I think also it's a ghost in the machine that's going to make people kind of like need to look inwardly at themselves.
Yes, I think so too.
Because like if your way of life can be automated by a machine, like how secure are you now? How secure are you in your future?
Yes.
And I think that's
I
the
worry, though,
question
it's
to
going to
ask
take
themselves.
away people's ability to think critically or do their own research, because it kind of already is.
100%. And like I've caught ChatGPT doing this. ChatGPT will just make shit up. You
Yes.
know, even if you give ChatGPT a source, it just depends how it's feeling that day.
Yeah.
Trust but verify it. Like even if I give it a source, I'm going to print out this article. I want you to only cite this article. I have caught ChatGPT making up quotations.
Yes, I completely agree. I've had a what's it? There's a friend of mine, and he's kind of like early Gen Z, if that makes any sense. So he's a little younger, like late Gen Z. I mean, and he'll ask me for stuff, and then he'll fact check it on AI, and the AI will spit him out just an unapologetically wrong answer. Like I recommended a country singer that's like from my old neck of the woods, who's like very much a real person. And then he for whatever reason, he feeds that into AI and gets back like, this singer is a fictional character made up for the hit TV show Trailer Park Boys. I'm like, fucking what? Like, it just made that up. This is just like a guy. You can go see him in concert.
Because
like he's
it's your friend's trying to fact check you, so the AI knows that. So the AI is designed to agree and assist you. It's going to come up with something to reach that conclusion you want to reach.
Yeah, it was just weird. I'm like, no, just like Google it. Don't use AI. Like, go to this guy's website. Go to like that is insane to me. Yeah, it said he was an animated cartoon character on the Trailer Park Boys, the animated show, which was not a thing. I mean, I think the show was. But yeah. But it's just not good. You have to double and triple and quadruple check things. But I feel like the newest generation just doesn't do that. It's essentially going to Google and just like copy pasting the first result.
Exactly. But even then, like it'll get the results and it won't get the information right.
Yeah, I was going to say the first result gives you something. Like it doesn't just make things up like AI does.
Exactly. But sometimes it just gets it wrong. If it's and it just goes back into I don't think it's ever going to replace things. It will enhance things. It's a great tool It's a great tool. It is not a replacement for a hammer, but it is something that complements a hammer, if that makes sense.
I think so too. I just wish that people wouldn't also I don't really mind when people use it for content. I brought this up on the we had 2 weeks ago, the fellow that directed SCP Overlord. And we were talking about the account Gossip Goblin, which just does like really like far future cyberpunk videos all done through AI, and it's all done really well. But that's like free fucking content. That's free content. No one's losing money from that existing. Maybe some rainforest somewhere is getting dried up. Oops. Or the small town of Eddington, New Mexico, is the drought's only getting worse because of the data center they built there. But gosh, I have so many thoughts that just jumbled into my head that they collided. I don't really care if it's not like a mega corpo using it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Or if it's not someone who's not just like selling art. Even if they do, people just generally don't buy AI art if it's obvious.
It's honestly kind of terrible. Like it's good to build placeholders. Like I'll use it to create placeholders every now and again, but replacing art truly, like something that I appreciate, no, I don't appreciate AI art at all.
I mean, you could say I do.
Yeah. I have a very love-hate relationship with it. I see it as a great tool, but I also see it as a significant handicap if you rely on it too much.
Yes, I think so too.
And people are just too stupid sometimes to fucking realize that your wire-born tupa is designed to agree with you and help you come to a conclusion. And so if it's your bias, if you don't mask it, it's going to help you support your bias.
100%.
And that's just the way it's designed. It's not even nefarious. It's just designed to do that.
Yeah, 100%. Which is part of why I really like the new updates, which are basically like if you get far down the rabbit hole, it's like, yo, hold the phone. You should fact check everything I say. Also, I'm not real. I have no sentience. I am just a reflection of you,
dude.
Like,
yeah,
it's a lot more tool, if that makes any sense.
exactly.
Like, it's way less friendly, which I appreciate.
Order me chicken nuggets now.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's crazy, man. Future's scary.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, before we wrap up, I realize I'm holding you pretty late here. The sun just went down on my end. I want to know if there's any other little stories that you've heard over the last little bit since we've got you on. I want to save some content for part 2 when we get BR. So just so y'all know, we're going to bully Nick into coming on again in the near future.
Absolutely. I like talking to you guys, so I need to come on more. I've lost control of my life, so.
Oh, dude. I mean, like after you're all settled, let's do it again.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, man, no, it's. I think like stuff that's been standing out to me a lot is definitely the UAP conundrum. I think people have become more distrusting and conspiratorial to the point that they are believing the stupidest shit, right?
Yes.
To the point like flat Earth is so fucking retarded. I don't even want to go into it.
I remember when that was such a big thing. I'm sure it is still in some weird parts of the internet.
I find it alarming that people will share a post on social media, especially about like the Jewish conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
Unsolicited, no source whatsoever. It's like some fucking schmuck. Like, I don't even know who the person is in the tweet is saying this information. And I'm like, did you verify this? Did you back it up? Did you look up this subject and learn that it's actually 2 different events that are not even related?
Yeah.
And I think, I do think people have become so distrusting to a fault that, if Jesus Christ came back himself, right, in the second coming, people will look him in the eyes and say he was a hologram. Like they just couldn't, they couldn't fathom to believe it because we've lost the art of speculation amongst ourselves. And that's like one of the more alarming things I've noticed is that everybody's becoming a conspiracy theorist. And when everybody's a conspiracy theorist, like no one is, right?
Yes.
And it's not even because they're distrusting. It's because that they want to it's this innate desire to feel like they know more than the average person. Like they're special, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. I like conspiracy theories because I like to speculate. I like to think. I like to the what ifs.
Me too.
Right. And people are starting to believe things at face value, which is just going to set them up to believe the wrong things at face value.
Yes.
Whether I don't care what your opinions are, if you especially with what's going on in the world, there's so much misinformation getting thrown around, not just by us, but by the Chinese and the Russians. And it's I tell people, you don't think that the Russians know that the hot topic amongst the anti-government people are globalism and these other buzzword topics. Yeah. So when you see these articles about Putin talking about these things, you don't think they know that that's going to resonate with these people. I hate to tell you, I tell people Putin was inner circle KGB. He is the New World Order. He is globalism. He's just on the different side of it. Same thing with the Chinese. The Chinese are just like us. You don't think that. You don't think they know what kind of breaks us down. Yeah. And so I'm sorry, my dog's going ballistic in the background because he's an idiot. Yeah, it goes back to I think people are becoming so distrusting now that they will look a miracle in the face and call it AI generated, and it's actually pretty alarming to me.
Yeah, and I hate to say that is part of the KGB playbook. It's
absolutely,
it's demoralize everyone through information.
Yeah,
create so much shit, just fill the airwaves with so much shit.
And I tell people I know with my the government, right? The governments of the world are not altruistic, right?
No,
we know this, but there are plenty worse out there that are playing into this right now. And if I tell people, if you don't think we're in an interwar period right now, you were wrong, and it's coming to an end very quickly. And what you're seeing now in the world today are just the opening stages of 1938, Europe, right? All over again.
Yeah, people are
And
getting a little more uncomfortable. People are getting upset, angry. Yeah, it's some bad shit to come. I don't like it.
Yep, and it's like if people are not careful, that they will find that they will believe the lies that they resented 10 years ago.
Yeah,
And it's crazy to watch people flip flop. And I try to stay very neutral politically, right? Because that's who I am as a person, right? But it's even with conspiracy theories and paranormal and stuff like that, it's just like you do have to trust the science a little bit. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it's true though. It's like, do I believe in a lot of this stuff happening? Yes, but if I believed every single thing that came along, it just devalues what is real.
You should be a skeptic. Yeah. You should be a skeptic to a point. Whereas if everything's a conspiracy, then it's like, what are you doing with life, right? Not everything's a conspiracy theory. Stuff I tell people, like, stuff happens by coincidence too. That's the even scarier part.
Yes.
Like, there may be no nefarious activity going on. You could have just a group of unrelated events happen at the same time, right? Yeah. And that's just also the nature of the beast. Not everything is a conspiracy. Some of it gets fucking crazy. Like, I think, Hawk to a Girl being an Israeli Mossad agent plant was one of my favorites.
Oh my god! Everyone I don't like is a Fed.
The CIA is so good that we couldn't hold Afghanistan, but we can take over the world or some shit. I don't fucking know, man. Like there's
in fairness, I do think there's a lot more money and interest in like the short term taking of Afghanistan than actually holding it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's discussion for another time. I have my own opinions on it.
Yeah, likewise. Mostly it was a big fucking waste of time and built on lies. But yeah.
Or was it built on lies? Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stuff is buried out there. Sorry, kiddos, you're gonna have to look up French in Iraq.
Yeah, we had to kill the giants before they killed us.
They deserved it. They had it coming.
Yes. Big boned fucking bastards. I need to think of slurs for giants. I don't know.
Biggins.
Okay, they're biggers.
Watch out for those Romanian giants. They steal your height to make themselves taller.
But yeah, Nick, thank you for coming on. Before we wrap up, and we kind of got into it a little bit, I'm doing a kind of new thing, and I'm remembering it sometimes and remembering it not all the time. And you kind of did this earlier. But what's a book you're reading or have read recently that you'd recommend people listening to the audiobook or just like looking into themselves? If not a book, just a piece of media.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess I'll try to think like for when it comes to like the paranormal side of things, like the older books that you can find, the better. I have a lot of them. I think kind of like, ooh, this is a tough one. You got me thinking right now. Of like what books I would read. I'll be honest, I've been on a Warhammer 40K audiobook binge for a long time because it's nice little escapism.
Hell yeah.
I do like escapism, but I do think that like reading into like everything on the internet is so crazy, but also reading books I think is important. I'm very big into physical media, even ebooks too, right? And there's stuff that is everything written out there. I think things that are interesting if you read into like how like strategy is like developed when it comes to like cyber and like misinformation. Like I remember reading about this stuff when I was a kid. It's crazy like how the slow motion train wreck is happening. Like stuff that I've remember reading about when I was younger is happening now. I think a really good book that I'd recommend to some people is a lesser known Stephen Pressfield book about it's called The Profession. If it comes to mind. And it's more or less The Profession. And it's more or less a story about an American Caesar. Like, how does people talk about, it's the end of democracy, civil war, blah, 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 tyrants. But it's a book actually about, and in my opinion, a pretty realistic depiction of how democracy ends in America. And it's kind of accurate to like what's been going on now.
Yeah.
with all it takes is somebody to be willing to pull us out of the hardship, right? And how quickly people fold around that. And I'm not talking like Trump or Biden or any of these world leaders, but like, you know, someone that does stand up to the status quo. And it's literally about a general that gets disgraced and kicked out of the Marine Corps and joins a mercenary outfit and becomes a leader of that mercenary outfit. And all of a sudden is an American Caesar coming back into the United States. And, you know, people start talking about making him king of the United States of America, like president for life. You know, and that, in my opinion, that was one of Steve Pressfield's last books. And it's not a historical fiction book, obviously. It's a science fiction book. It's the only science fiction book.
But it's like a look at culture, like a look at people and how could a situation like this reasonably happen, which I could absolutely see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's that one, and then when it comes to like kind of like paranormal isms, you know, I do like we talked about the Heritage trilogy. Like when it comes to like alien life out there, you know, it's stuff that's like it's hard to find. I can talk all day on this. I need to go on and like, look through my library. I read so many books and listen to so many of them. I would say it's always good to read books that challenge you, and not in a way they challenge like your viewpoint. Don't read things that like put yourself in a vacuum. It's good to break it up. I'll just say I'll recommend to everyone. You should read this book. It's called The Journal of Albion Moonlight. It's the weirdest book I've ever read. Yep, weirdest book I've ever read. It is an extremely long form experimental poetry, but it is the book that Jimmy Buffett has cited as being one of the main inspiration of why he writes his songs.
Interesting.
I have no idea how or why, but the Ballad of a Lonely Poet or Unknown Poet, I believe it's called, is written for the author.
The book of the Journal of Albion Moonlight?
Journal of Albion Moonlight by Kenneth Patchen.
Yes, 1941. Excellent.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm also looking it up. Surrealist experimental work following the titular character in a fevered apocalyptic journey through wartime America. Already going to read. Going to buy this right now. Yep. Hell yeah.
And Death of an Unpopular Poet by Jimmy Buffett was written by Jimmy Buffett as a tribute to Kenneth Patchen.
Interesting.
Yep, and he cites Kenneth Patchen as being the inspiration to his songs.
Yes. I am so into this. Okay, my recommendation, as always, House of Leaves by Daniel Zulinski, I think. Let me look it up. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mark Z. Danielewski. So I absolutely fucked up the author's name. I apologize. It's great. It will challenge you. It is not really a modern critique on politics, culture, war, or anything like that. It's just a good fucking book. But yeah, Nick, I know you have your own book now. Where can we find it?
Oh yeah, the transcript. I wrote since we last talked, I think I have 3 Tales from the Grid Square volumes out now, and I have
hell yes.
I wrote I'm working on number 4. Hopefully by next Halloween is the goal to have it out.
Where can we buy them to support you?
So you can buy all my books on Amazon. Tales from the Grid Square volumes 1, 2, and 3 are available on Amazon. And then I wrote my own short fiction collection, my own short stories I wrote using some elements from Tales from the Grid Square. Some of the stories I've gotten over the years as like inspiration. But I wrote 11 short stories and put together in the transcript. And that's published through Dead Reckoning Collective. And you can buy that also on Amazon as well, or on the Dead Reckoning website.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Nick. Thank you again for coming on.
No, thank you, man, for having me on. And we're going to have to get on again soon.
Hell yes. Let me know when you're all settled up, and we'll schedule episode 2. Well,
absolutely.
3 if you want to get technical. Awesome. Thanks, homie. Okay, bye.